1 second. Here we go. Hey, I appreciate all you guys for showing up to the call, right? We're gonna go over a couple of things when it comes to private rental, rent to own, and things like that. That way you kind of have an idea of how to make money off the platform. First off, I'll give any of you guys the floor to speak. If y'all had any wins this week, whether it was with us or whether it was in life, y'all can go ahead and say that. You know, I'll give you guys, I got whoever wants to start the floor. Anything that was a win made you, you know, elevate in any type of way, y'all can go ahead and speak on it. Wasn't no wins this week? No, nobody did nothing this week. Oh,
I mean, not to brag, I can share a win. So I received a notification of my scholarship for my doctorate program, and I got my first 2 years paid for.
Oh yeah, damn, that's a big old win. Hold up. Hey, that's
Yeah.
okay. That and it's all paid for. That's dope. I don't know nothing
Yep.
about the college, that whole side of things, but I do know it costs money. So if if we're able to save some money on that, you damn near you out there winning. You got a whole scholarship.
Yep, I got 2 out of my 4 years paid for. So I mean, I'm kind of on cloud nine right now.
That's how it works. That's how God keeps blessing us, right? He keep the blessings coming through, and then we keep elevating. Well, congrats on that, and I appreciate you sharing. Anybody got anything else? Is that you, Jeremy?
Hey, Trevor, I got something. Yeah, man, what's up?
Go ahead, boss man.
I'm down to my last two VA claims, man. That's out of 7. So I'm
Oh,
pretty
okay.
excited about that. Yeah, so I got 2 left of those. I did a real world interview for a school board. Never did an interview in my life. We'll find out what's going on with that. That was a win. The interview went well.
Yeah, that's
So
sweet. That's
yeah,
sweet.
it's yeah, transition. And then like she was saying about college, I'm 7 weeks down from grabbing my degree and finishing up. So
Oh
I'm
yeah,
excited.
yeah. We keep
So
winning.
tired, but
Yeah. The work's got to be had. You know what I mean. The work's got to be done in order, and for order for us to, you know, put ourselves in those positions. And man, y'all, obviously, you're killing it. The seven VA appointments, 2 out of 7. It could be rough with the VA. So the fact that you got 2 of them out the way, that's solid. You got to stay on them and keep it rolling, or you know they're not just gonna give it away.
I only got 2 left. I knocked down 5.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, damn, that's even better. Yeah, I need to get I'm sitting here at 80. I'm trying to get a little bit more. I need that extra push I need to, you know, really get into something so I can get at that 100% and things like that. But you know how it is, it's a work. You got to keep going to appointments, keep handling that kind of situation. Did everybody get onboarded? Anybody who's new here to the first call, everybody's onboarded. Y'all are all squared away on that part. The people who are onboarded and working, y'all got communication and seeing everything when it comes to, I'm not going to try to talk too much about the credit, but I just want to make sure that y'all are taken care of in that sense. And if there is a question or something about that at the end, I can make notes and make sure that all that stuff gets passed up. All right, cool. All right, so we're about to get active.
And Trevor, when you do have a chance, I know you're going to do your presentation. If you could explain the onboarding a little bit, that'd be great. Maybe at the end. I'm a little
Yeah.
confused on that part.
Yeah, I will. And then if my partner decides if he wants to jump in on this call, it's not mandatory for any of them, but if he does want to jump on here and hop in and hit a little bit on it, he will. But I do know that he has just put out a video that's probably going to cover all of anything about the onboarding process. It's going to be covered in the video, and I think he's dropping it today. Tyler, if you're in here, you already received that video, and we're going to be able to drop it to the community. Is that correct? He'll probably answer here in a little bit. All right, let me get into it. I'm gonna share my screen. Let me know when you guys are able to see it. You can just give me a thumbs up if I'm golden, and we'll get active. All right, bet. All right, the first one I'm gonna get into is gonna be, hold on one second. This is gonna be basically the private rental contract. And these, you don't have to worry about hitting too heavy. Take notes, obviously, of brainstorming your ideas, but we will get these uploaded to the Turo mentorship course. That way you have these PDF files and you can go back and adjust them however you would like it to be on your end, you know, whatever's suitable for the business that you run. This is just what's effective for me in my market and and you know, with my business and how I'm able to make this thing work and cover me legally, cover the renter and things like that. Nothing changes. We don't want to use private rental or things like that as a cop out to save money and not carry insurance or nothing like that. Everything else still needs to be in motion with how you do your business. So if you're going to be on, you know, if you're going to be running your business and you know, you still have to have coverage, you still have to have all the proper things in line so that, you know, you can operate effectively. This is just going to take you outside of the Turo platform and teach you how to get a bag up over there. So obviously you're going to date it. You know, you make up your term, so you get your term down, however long you want the rental, you know, private rental agreement to go. That's, you know, do it how you want to do it. I do them for up to a year because I don't want to have to keep getting a contract to the same client that decides the private rent every time he comes to private rent. So I make sure that it's valid for up to 1 year. That way, you know, January 1st, it's valid from then on. Of 2024. Of 2025, I have to get him a new contract if I want to continue to, you know, rent to him private. That just saves you time for having to do the same thing over and over again. Obviously, have the agreement between you as the business and the client. You need to put all the vehicle information down so that this vehicle can be tracked. If law enforcement has to get involved or anything like that, you want to have paperwork on it. So vehicle make and model, the VIN and the license plate number, all that stuff is only to cover you and help you more. We know if a crook is gonna steal it or a thief is gonna do their thing, they may do whatever they want to disrupt the, you know, switch the plates and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, we're gonna cover as much as we can to our power, to our knowledge. So you want to make sure you get the renter's information as well. So you get their first name, get their driver's license number, because you need to make sure that their driver's license is valid. Also get the name of their insurance company and their insurance policy number. Call in that insurance company and make sure that they have full coverage and that they have an active policy. You have the power to do that. All you have to simply say is that you have a car that you're going to let one of your friends use, and you want to make sure that he's carrying that he's a legal driver before he gets behind the wheel of your car. So make sure that you have those things down and that you're calling in and actually checking to make sure that it's valid. Now, we know things happen down the line. If he rents for a year and drops the insurance 4 months later, yeah, those are the things that are out of our control that we can't handle. I mean, that we can't control, but we're going to develop our own ways to make sure that for the most part, we do have some peace of mind whenever we're in a situation. The insurance responsibility, the way I have it is I kind of made this up on my own, obviously, but it's in a common sense way. So in the event of any incident or accident or damage to the rented vehicle, it is solely the responsibility of the renter to file a claim with their insurance company. Owner's insurance will not be responsible for any claims related to the rented vehicle. If insurance claims are not filed, there will be a monthly installment plan and price given to the customer that is chosen by the company. So if they're not going to file the insurance because they're too worried about, you know, it making their policies go up and things like that, you know, that's what makes them skeptical about putting it on their insurance. There's been times where I was like, all right, bro, but I don't care how you want to do it or the way that you have to do it to get it done, but I need my vehicle fixed. If the vehicle isn't fixed, you're going to have to give me the weekly rent price. Like if it was $375 a week, I need $375 a week until my vehicle is fully fixed and back in my fleet to run properly. You know, that's what that covers. That way, if, you know, they might not have, you know, their deductible might be $2,000 or something like that, or $3,000. So they might need I need a couple paychecks to save up for that. Okay, yeah, you can do that, but I still need my weekly payment. You know what I mean? So that's just something that I worked out to still be earning income and revenue while I'm in a business. Fuel and cleanliness. Obviously, the renter agrees to return the vehicle with the same amount of fuel and the same clean condition. Failure to do so may result in a $200 cleaning fee charges. So before you private rent the vehicle, obviously make sure that it's fueled up. If you want it back full to you, you don't have to do that. You can have it on half. It just needs to come back that way. And make sure that you send them a clean vehicle so that they can give you the vehicle back clean. If they don't, you got this paperwork right here where you can, charge them for $200. When you're doing favors for people and things like that, they tend to not burn that bridge because you're their connection off of the Turo platform. So they're like, damn, they're not always going to look at it as shady, but I always have to look at it in the worst possible position so that I can prepare for the worst possible client. So if I'm able to, have some paperwork in line that covers me, and this client is like, damn, well, you're saving me a lot of money not renting on Turo. You're eating up, $150 in trip fees, man. Let's do it again. They're gonna want to run it back, so they're probably not gonna burn you up anyway. But I've had clients that were like, look, there's $200 inside the cup holder. I did not have time to clean it, but here's your cleaning. You know what I mean? You'll build your clientele and do favors like that for people. When I do private rental, most of the time it's like with a super trusted client that has already been renting from me for a long time, that I feel confident to have my vehicle, family members, things like that, people that won't burn me. But it's not just for anybody. You got to figure out who your private rent audience is. Smoking policy. I'm 420 friendly, but I still can't have that in my vehicles, right? So smoking of any kind, it's just not allowed in any of my vehicles because I never know what the next person may like. The next person might hate marijuana, right? The next person might hate that. I don't like the smell of cigarettes. I'm not against anybody, or I don't have no problems with people who smoke. That just ain't me. So I got to have my vehicles as if you would almost get it from a dealer. They're not going to get it nicotined up and smoked out. So, we don't want to give vehicles out that way. If they do, you charge them with a $300 smoking violation. This is all off the platform, but it kind of follows the platform as well. And I came up with my own ways that work for me. And that's kind of how this layout rolls. The maintenance. So the renter is responsible for any damage to the vehicle, including chips in the windshield or damage to the tires incurred during the rental period. Such damage should be covered by the renter to ensure the fleet's continued roadworthiness. So that basically says maintenance, tires, things like that. If you have a blowout or your tire's flat or something like that, it's on that renter to make sure that is covered and paid for and fixed before we get it back, or they pay us to have it done. That obviously that's common sense. We got to keep the fleet on the road, and if we're gonna have trash tires and chipped up windshields, a client may not like that. They might say, hey, this chip looks like it's gonna cave in. You know what I mean? Never know. You always got to plan for the worst, right? Mileage limit. The maximum daily limits allowed for this rental is 200 miles. Longer trips may be accommodated with prior agreement, and it may incur additional mileage charges. I kind of went with the basic on Turo, like a median. So I was like, a lot of people were booking 200 miles a day. So I kind of just felt like 200 miles is fair. I don't want them across the country in a private rental. I might never know when they'll come back. So that's something that I don't want to deal with. But like I said, if you got your audience and you trust them, hook them up. Legal actions. Violation of this agreement may result in legal action being taken against the renter. Pre and post trip photos. I obviously stole this from Turo, right? Because I want to make sure that I'm good. I want to make sure that I'm covered and that I have something to stand on just in case all hell breaks loose, something bad happens, we have to go to court and all that kind of shit. So pre and post trip photos are like pertinent, right? The renter is required to take photos of the vehicle's condition before and after the rental period. Failure to provide these photos may result in the renter being held for any, pretty much liable for any incidents or damages. So just make them send you the photos. It's not that if you're not there for the check-in, just make sure they send them to you just like you would on Turo. And obviously you're going to have your own pictures as well. This can just kind of cover you, like I said, just in case any type of court situations or things like that. Obviously, this agreement cannot be voided once signed by the renter. Signatures, here it is, contact information and things like that. So I've noticed, obviously, in private rental, like when you find a really good, 5 to 10 people that private rent from you, well, if they rent from you multiple times on Turo, they're probably like you as a host, or they like the vehicle that they're getting from you. So I try to make it as like, as comfortable for the client as possible. And if I can save them, $150 trip fees or $120 trip fees for renting my vehicle, I can just literally throw half of it on the total price and make my money still. And they're still going to look at it as a save. Like, for example, I had a client who booked my Corvette during the wintertime. Think his trip, it was like for 2 weeks. Think his trip was like $987 or something like that. But the trip fees were almost like $800 on that car. And then he was young too. So he got hit with some crazy trip fees. It was as much as the car. So he sent me a picture of it, and we've already done a lot of business. So I was like, yeah, bro. So what do you want to do? What can we work out here? That way I can get you on private, get you the contract, get everything sent out. He was like, literally, bro, you're saving me an additional $900. I'll give you $1,300 full for it. So, I mean, I made $1,300 on I think it was like 12 days. That's really good money. I still got a lot of month left to make a whole lot more money. And the car note on that car is $826. So I was cash flowing already after he private rented it. You still got another 26 days in a month to make some money. So private rental is a big play. It's dope, and it can earn you a lot of extra money. Let me get into the next one. I'm not going to save it for the end just in case. Is there any, I just don't want to end up covering it here in rent to own, but is there any questions about anything private rental that comes to your mind that you feel like maybe I've experienced or whatever it may be? If you got a question about the private rental portion, let's run it and figure it out. Perfect. Pretty solid then. I like it. And remember, guys, like I said, these agreements will be posted into the Skool community in my course, and it'll be labeled so you can find it, and you can just copy, paste them, bring them on your own Word document, and you can update it and change it however you want. But I'm going to give you, like, this is the layout. You would just change your business name here and things like that. That way it's suitable for you. All right, this is probably the best one. This is the most, I mean, this is the best play ever. And that's going to be rent to own, bro, because it's the same thing. It's still on a 1-year contract. And you're about to see why it makes so much sense when I get into it. So, but I use this one faithfully. I got 7 cars on this right now. And it brings in all the extra bread that I, want to spend on whatever. Obviously, all the contact information is right here. Customer's full name, referred to as the buyer right. Car information is the same thing. Make, model, year, VIN, color. Right here is the weekly price. So you could choose to do monthly. I choose not to do monthly. It's just because I have so many other cars. I like constant cash flow coming in. Monthly does work. If you're going to hit them at monthly, make sure you make their due date 15 days before your actual due date. The reason I say that is because you can kind of know how a client is going to be just by having that payment 15 days early than your actual due date. Your actual due date is the 30th. You can get up to 29 days late on a payment without even affecting your credit. So the reason I put it 15 days early is because now I'll know if they were paying on my actual payment date, they would have already made me 15 days late. So now not only am I going to have to go repo the vehicle, because as you'll see in here, you get 14 days. So not only did you pay a $50 late fee after the 7th day, but the 14th day, I'm about to come repo the vehicle. Then I have to get it back either to another owner long-term or back on the platform and book it out. Ain't no telling what type of condition I'm about to get in. I don't know if it's going to be dirty, need a detail, anything. So that's not enough time. But if I make it 15 days early, they basically have a 45-day cushion essentially before it even messes with my credit. So if they're 7 days late, I'm technically still on time. They're just late. I hit them at a $50 late fee. 14 days late is like literally the day before the car payment is due. So not only am I about to come repo the car, but I'm getting it from scratch, beginning of the month. Let's make some money I can cover for myself. But I'm gonna get into the meat and potatoes, all that, because there's money in here strategically for a reason. Insurance claims. So the buyer must maintain comprehensive insurance coverage for the vehicle. In the event of incidents or accidents, the buyer is solely responsible for filing a claim with their insurance provider. Failure to do so may result in legal action. The only reason I said comprehensive, right? I don't say comprehensive and collision. I know collision is the one that covers you if you have a car accident, but the only reason I didn't put collision is because they only really need to have comprehensive to be covered. They can always file this claim, which I've had happen. Hey, shut up. 1 second. So they might actually claim the accident on one of their family members, like their parents or something like that. That's why I don't make them, carry collision. I just want them to have comprehensive, because that's what the second one kind of goes hand in hand with that. And in the event of an accident, the buyer's responsible for filing a claim. Like I've had young kids have to file it on their moms, you know what I mean, and everything get covered. But there's a reason it kind of just widens your audience if you do it this way. Because I don't have to, if I have an accident, I don't have, and I'm a teenager, I'm probably under my mom's policy anyway. You know what I mean? So it's obviously not going to be under mine. The claim is going to be under mama's. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to widen my, audience. Documentation: the buyer must provide a valid driver's license and insurance information at the start of the agreement. Term, one more time. The term is going to be 1 year mutual agreement. The buyer may choose to renew the contract with the current vehicle, trade it in for another vehicle, or end the contract. So a whole year of somebody else paying your car note and you cash flowing is going to happen because of the way this contract is built. Early terminations of this contract will result in a $1,500 charge. So not only if you break the contract, now you're going to pay 2 of my payments, because I'm always doubling up. I'm not renting it out for $200 or $300 more. Their credit is bad. They can't afford a car anyway. I got what you want. You're going to pay $1,500 a month. My Tesla payment, $800. The client pays me $1,500 a month. That's what they want. They agree with it. Some people make a whole lot of money, but they don't value credit. They don't care about credit. I got plenty of people in my network when it comes to hustlers and contract workers and, people that just make a lot of money, but they don't care about credit. So they're fine with giving me that $1,500 every single month to be in that 5 series, that 7 series, or whatever it may be. But if they terminate the contract, I got to have $1,500, because that gives me a payment towards my vehicle. I get some convenience money to give me time while I'm trying to find another rent-to-own or put it on the platform. You're always trying to cover yourself with some money and time. They can keep the current vehicle. So now that they're going to re-up and pay your car note for a whole nother year, pay you money, right? They can trade it in for another vehicle. So we're always worried about these liabilities depreciating. Who cares? You didn't pay it. They're going to probably trade it back to you for you to do it to somebody else and then get them another car. They're still in your network. They're still going to come to you, and the business has to come through you as the one-stop shop. So you're going to make money. You're going to go crazy. So as I read a little further, it's going to result in a $1,500 charge plus the weekly payment until the vehicle is back in our possession. So people would be stupid to go that far, because I'm lawyered up just in life, right? I tied in with a lot of people and know a lot of lawyers. I don't have a specific, hey, Turo rental car lawyer. No, but I have somebody I can call. I can be like, hey, let's go press this guy, because he owes me $3K. I can't find the car. He doesn't, whatever they do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that they're, you know what I mean? If they're a crook, that they're going to be a professional at it. Most of them don't even knock out the trackers. Like, it's like, bro, you stole it from a lot and we see where you're at. You know what I mean? We're coming to get the car. So, and I'm not going to say this is not going to happen. When you get 30, 40, 50 cars, I mean, that's just more opportunities for it to happen. You're not always going to have the best customer on that side, but being covered, that way this stuff is paid for and taken care of. If something does happen, that's the biggest play of all, because the debt was, you're no longer held with that debt. You're no longer held. And then if it gets totaled and paid off, a business just paid off your vehicle. Now your business credit shoots skyrockets through the roof because one jackass stole your car and totaled it. Sometimes I'm like, I'm tired of paying for that car. I wish somebody would just come total it. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm tired of that one. I want to go get another one. This one, I want to add this. I'm tired of renting that one out. I had it for a year or two. It's done. But yeah, that's how that game works. Weekly payments. The buyer agrees to make weekly payments based on the vehicle's agreed upon price until the vehicle is paid in full or refinanced into the buyer's name. So this basically lets them know that until the vehicle is paid in full, if you can re-up your contract every year, right? But until it's paid in full or they go get their credit right and get a loan and buy the car, then the weekly payments still have to go on. And if they what I was gonna say, if they do decide that they want to dang, I just had it. I lost it. Hold on. It was about weekly payments, the vehicle. It was a good one. It's going to come back. I got to think of, the clients. So you're also keeping that client in. That's kind of like a sales pitch whenever you're doing these rent-to-own contracts with these clients. You could be like, I don't know another dealership where you can go buy a car for a year. You're basically trying it out. You know what I mean? And then you can switch it out for something else without all the bank bullshit, the credit bullshit, no more money down, you know what I mean? Things like that. You've literally won. So you're able to pull in. It's just more audience. I'm really good at knowing what people want because I've like been in every single situation of my life. I've been, you know what I mean? Broke, poor, wealthy, rich. You know what I mean? I've been through every stage, so I kind of can know people's situations and where it's like, you know what? Let's just finish out the year. You could try something else. You know what I mean? They're looking at it as like, thank you, you're a hero. I'm looking at it as like, pay another car for a year. You know what I mean? I'm still winning at the end of the day. Late payments. Once a late payment becomes more than 7 days late, a $50 late fee will be charged. And if a vehicle comes more than 14 days late, we may repossess the vehicle. Same, I keep all that stuff the same. Those timelines are there for a reason. Repos. Failure to make the agreed upon weekly payment will result in owners repossessing the vehicle after 14 days of non-payment. Vehicle return. If the buyer decides not to purchase the vehicle, it must be returned in the same condition as received. Common sense. If it had, headliner was up when you got it and you bring it back with no headliner, you need to put it on because I'm not taking it back. I don't know what people do in their cars, but I'm just, like I say, I always plan for the worst. Smoking, including marijuana and cigarette use, is prohibited. A $300 smoking fee will be charged if it's evidence is present in the vehicle. Simple. You don't want your assets to be ruined. Like I said, we may smoke our recreational, we may smoke vapes, we may smoke cigarettes, whatever maybe do you, but don't do it in your asset because like you're making your pocket just, you're not gaining what you should be gaining from the money that you could make just by having a smoked out vehicle. Damage, the buyer is responsible for 100% of any vehicle damage. Regular maintenance is crucial to ensure the fleet's upkeep. So that covers me like, if you got the car, you should be doing the oil changes, the tire rotations, and things like that for a year. But if you don't, I have it right here that it says that you're 100% responsible, and it hits on the key points of maintenance being crucial to ensure the fleet is upkept. So that covers me if they try to have any other excuses of like, oh, I ran off the road because the tires were slick, and well, you're supposed to be handling the maintenance too, so you're still lost. Cover yourself. Remember, CYA, cover your ass in any type of situation, especially if it involves your business, your money, and your livelihood. Legal actions. Violation of this agreement may result in legal actions against the buyer. Liability. The buyer takes the vehicle as received, and the owner will not be held liable for any future incidents or repairs. That's as simple as I can put it. That is your vehicle for the next year. That is your vehicle. Unless you want to get out, give me $1,500 and get out of the contract. That's fine. I'll take that too. But For the next year, you're responsible for all that. So you can't come back with any type of bogusness. Maintenance of the vehicle is solely responsible of the buyer as well. Transfer. Once the vehicle has been paid in full and the title is received by the owner from the lien holder, the owner will transfer the title to the vehicle. To the vehicle to the buyer. It should have been of the vehicle. There's a lot of typos in here. I just be up trying to figure it out. But yeah, this is going to be your rent-to-own contract. This thing is bread and butter. I love Turo, the car rental space when it comes to this, because Turo's really like that's easy as far as being the platform of like where you can make guaranteed money because you don't have to worry about the marketing. Turo's job is to market your vehicle so clients can book your car. That's why they take those percentages depending on what deductible that you choose for insurance. I like to go 90%. Right now, when I started out, I wasn't going 90% because I didn't have a lot of capital. I didn't have, the credit and all that in line. That's why I'm putting y'all through it this way, long way or not. I'm not trying to get anybody rich. I'm trying to get people wealthy. So for me to tell y'all to jump in and not have any type of funding, credit, leverage to back you, it's kind of risky. I did it. I only had like 20K on a credit card, and I did it, but it was toughish. I was liquid a lot. I was like, damn, got to touch the bank. Got it. You know what I mean? So I don't want y'all to go through that part because it's so much going on. You got all the bills, you got all the cars. Man, I got 30 vehicles is not easy. They're all on different payment dates. Damn near every day of the month, it's like bills. So it's like keeping up with it is already tough. So if I can put y'all in a better position than I was in, right? And that is what's going to make me know y'all can win and be successful, because I done did it the fucked up way. And then I learned the right way and then did it the good way. So now that I got this way in line, I'm going to teach you that way. But I'm obviously going to give you the game. Like some people, if you got a little bit of credit already, jump out there. There's a couple clients that are posting their cars in the wins. They're jumping out there because they're like, man, I want the revenue right now. They might already be kind of straight with credit or funding. You know what I mean? Like they trying to generate revenue. They know that they make so much between husband and wife. Like even with these car notes, we can still make the bills. So they're like, well, shit, it ain't going to get worse. It's only going to get better. So they do it that way. And by all means, you can do it. I'm going to make sure that you do it right. And I'm going to make sure that you're successful doing it. But yeah, that's bread and butter when it comes to the private rental and things like that. You hit it on the spot, Jeremy. Gap insurance. If you don't put, and I say it in the course, you need to have gap insurance on every single vehicle that you purchase. I know growing up and having vehicles back in the day, it wasn't a big deal. You're like, oh, I'm not gonna wreck and all that kind of shit. Cars depreciate the second you drive them off the lot. So why are you just offering to give them money? You might as well make them work for it. Get the gap insurance. I got it, and I'm going through that situation now. If you're a new client, I probably brought it up through our talk, but my Range Rover got totaled out. It was used and it was still about a $58,000 truck. It's a Range Rover, autobiography, fully loaded, seat massagers, TVs, all that, red guts, and that thing, it got totaled out. And Turo, all I had to pay was my $500 deductible. I signed my power of attorney. They already mailed it to me. I got to sign it, send it back, and it's a wrap. Like my business credit is going to go through the roof. One, that business that I created it the same year. It's not even a year old. It's probably a year old right now. And it's already got a $58,000 vehicle paid off. It's going to skyrocket. It's in my daughter's name. My daughter's going to be good. I'm not tripping off of me. Like it's in her name now. Obviously it's not legally, but when she's of age in this state to put it in her name, I'm just going to amend it to hers. But everything stays the same. Anything I do on that business still transfers to her. So that's the play. I got about 10 cars in my all my daughters got assets in their names. And then obviously I got it in the trust. And you know what I mean? It gets real deep. I'm going to bring those type of, entrepreneurs and professionals in those spaces in to speak with you guys as well. We just need time. We're working. We're trying to make sure that we're providing as much value and as much gain we can to you guys so that you can be successful. Like I never want a client to, sit in here and focus on things that aren't. I have clients all the time like, hey man, my score only went up 10 points. Dude, you got 3 collections deleted. Like we're not worried about 10 points. We're worried about those collections that were hammering you on getting money that are gone. Your score might not go up 10. If you're 720 already and you have 3 collections, it's not going to go to 890, but it's not going to go to 850. You know what I mean? It's not going to go to 850 because I removed the collections. Like, it's the profile. So a lot of people do that. I mean, you have to look at those updates that Kane sends out. Shut up. Is she wagging her tail? Somebody out there. Oh, he's here. Let her out so she can just go out and see him. Yeah, so like I was saying, you gotta the gap insurance is super crucial. It's super important. And I don't know where I was at. The dog was barking. Well, where was we at? What is there any questions so far? Like anybody? The game we running it like right now. I mean, we got some minutes left on the call. We could talk about it and you know, figure out if there was anything that was unclear. You know.
Hey, Trevor,
What's up, Jeremy?
2 questions, bro. So you mentioned yeah, the repo stuff, right? The repo, how you got the repo. How did you do that? Did you find you a repo man or did you just do it I mean, what did you do? How did you work that out?
So
Like
actually I
essentially
did
did you
I always have double keys, right? So I always
yeah,
get the spare key. So I always keep a spare key on me, but I give that spare key to the client. And I have multiple trackers in the vehicle. So the goal is to have multiple trackers. We get it if a thief if they know the car game and you got something hot that they want, yeah, they're probably gonna know where LoJack's at. They're gonna know where One Stop GPS is at. They're gonna know where all those trackers are. But the goal is to have multiple, because when they find one, they may be like, oh, we got it. No, you didn't. I got one step here. I got LoJack under here, and I got an air tag somewhere in the car. I never put the air tag like in the cup holder's glove. No, I put it in the venting system. I pull back the windshield, like it's in the car. You're not going to find it. But having multiple tracking devices just kind of slows them down. When they find that one, they're going to think they got you. Like, oh, no, you didn't, buddy. I got another one. I'm coming to grab my car. Spare key. Usually my nephew will just do it. He'll go snatch it. Obviously, I'm in a new market now, so I'm going to have to link in with somebody, find somebody. If it's not a company, like you can always get a repo company to tie in with them, make all the, the connections with all the affiliates you can. Mechanic shops, paint shops, wrap shops,
yeah, that's what I
everything.
was saying.
You're about to be into the car industry, you know what I mean? So you need to tie in with everybody. I had a tire plug. I had anybody that I could affiliate with, and my leverage was like, hey man, anytime you want to rent a car, bro, you got it. I'm gonna hook you up. You ain't got to worry about paying. Just take care of me when I bring this car. Man, I get high. I'm getting Pirelli tires and I'm paying $100 for, 2. So it's like tie in with those people, because you're going to have something valuable to them. If you got to put one hot car in your fleet. Always have one hot car. Doesn't matter what it is. Have the one that you're leveraging. Like, this is what I give to people when I need favors. You know what I mean? Like, that are going to cost me a lot of money. Put a nice Mercedes in there, put a Range Rover in there, put one head turner in there if you want. I went with all head turners. You know what I mean? I went opposite, but that's hard. That's risky, but it's worth it, What was your other question? Does that answer it?
Kind of, yeah, well, you just brought that up to the head turners. So when to buy your fleet, right? You mentioned these contracts. Are these some things you can try to work out ahead of time if you're not wanting to play this risky game? Because what I'm worried about is you get these cars and you're like, oh shit, I got these cars, right? I'm in an area kind of like where you were. I'm up in the area where it's hit and miss, right? It's poor and it's wealth, kind of weird. But like you buy these cars, right? Is it something you can work out ahead of time, start advertising ahead of time, or do you really got to have these cars fleet right away, or can you work that out? Like negotiate, like, hey man, this car's coming. You're gonna want this rent to own. That way, when that car comes, you already got that figured out.
Yeah, you can
Or am
jump
I just
like
thinking in la la land?
No, you're good. That's actually, I mean, it's dope because you know your market. Only you are looking at Turo, and 9 times out of 10, before anybody even books a call, they're already doing research anyway. So they kind of know, like, okay, Turo's out here. They do book or they don't book at all. I had a guy there was one car. It had 3 trips. I mean, I couldn't even give him. He came from Allegiant as well. I mean, there was nothing I could do for him. He had no debt, like 800 credit score. Single, no job. He was getting paid like he had like an oil oil rig had drilled on his land. So I was like, bro, you're really good, bro. Like you could buy it to have a car and on your business. And you know what I mean? I wouldn't know. There was makes no sense. But by all means, you can advertise the shit out of it, throw it on Facebook. Like usually you have neighborhood groups. Like I know when we go to an area, there's like a page for where we're living.
Yeah.
It's where you buy stuff to find on the marketplace and stuff. You could throw it on there and say, hey, I own a rental car business. If anybody's going to prom, homecoming, Halloween, date night, whatever, you can put it out that way. Say I do rent out cars. It's gonna lead into somebody renting to own. Or if you want to just go out head first, rent to own it, you have to talk about it and make sure that you're putting it out that way though. And then you can have it. But you know, if you're not going to use Turo to figure out who your audience is, you could do it that way 100%. I use Turo to pick out the audience because Turo was doing. I knew what I was going to do to Turo when I looked at my market before. You know what I mean? Like if your market, if there's something that's a common car, like a Kia Telluride's a great example because it's a fire ass car. I have two of them, and because they look like Range Rovers, they got 3 rows. They're nice, right? You don't have one in your market. A Kia Telluride's a banger, bro. Like it books like crazy because they look good. They got 3 rows. They're not. I mean, everything's high now, but they were cheaper, than a Range Rover.
They're cheaper still.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean that. I think everybody should put one of those in their fleet, 100%. Them things are, yeah. But if you don't have something there, man, put it out there because if there's motion on the platform, but you got 30, of the same similar type of cars, put something that there's no trucks out there. Put a 4-wheel drive truck out there. Never know who needs it. You know what I mean?
I don't know if Germany's done or not, but one of my things was it seemed like he was kind of going that way. I wanted to see what you do about like cost analysis and stuff like that before you got started. You know what car you're gonna go get. You got to pay for your gap insurance that you talk about. You got to get your full coverage like you talked about. How do I go about, just doing a cost analysis before I go get which vehicles I want?
Like a cost analysis of your market, or are you talking about just the vehicle itself, like with insurance, everything you need for
like vehicle itself, insurance and all that. Yeah.
So there's really obviously the market is trash right now, right? Like the whole economy is kind of messed up. Everything's high, everything's expensive, things like that. But it's good to go cheap sometimes because if you have a whole bunch of volume that doesn't cost you a lot, you can make money. You might not make a whole lot of money. Like think of it like Walmart. I actually did a post about this. I haven't dropped it yet, but think of it like Walmart. Like that's how they came into business, being cheaper than everybody else because they wanted volume because they knew that eventually they would make a whole lot of money because they're cheaper doing it that way. Or you could be super high, but you don't need a whole lot of high dollar. Like I wouldn't have multiple like $1,500, $1,200 payments because that's tough because now the market may mess with you. If it's cheap, it's gonna work because everything else is high right now. And a good way to know the number of the vehicle, like the way you can kind of estimate before you jump in, if you double that first number of the vehicle that you're purchasing, that's around where your payment's going to be. So if it's a $40,000 vehicle, it's going to be around an $800 payment. A $30,000 vehicle is going to be about a $600 payment. Then you throw your interest and insurance in, you could just round it up another $200 to $300. That's how I do it. So I'm like, okay, if my car payments are like now, with the way the market is jumping in, I wouldn't try to go over a $600 or a $700 payment. It's just because the market's really bad. And you can't control that. It may get worse or it could get better. When it gets better, you're really going to make a lot of money, right? But if it gets worse, at least you're already there. You're already at the worst. You know what I mean? This shit is something we can't control. So we just got to figure out ways to counter it and make it work for us. If I was jumping in right now, I would probably do 3 economies, 1 luxury, and like a car that my dream car. That's how I would do it. I spoke to Miss Michelle about this too. That's probably the way I would do it. Or you could go 4 in a luxury and keep your same car. You may like the car that you're in. You're trying to make money right now. You're not trying to, be seen. You're not trying to actually leverage that for your business. Your goal may be to make money. My goal was to like build a whole business, a whole brand, and figure out a way to do it, having the best cars. Like if I got 30 Ford Focuses, nobody's about to be like, what do you do? But if I have like Corvettes, Range Rovers, Mercedes, and Trackhawks, and Hellcats, and I mean, what do we got? BMWs and McLarens, all the any cars that you've seen posted on my social media. I mean, that's the route I wanted to go. So that's kind of up to you, but just the main things that you should consider is your car note, your insurance with your warranties, right? And then I mean, I don't even be tripping off of, I do the normal maintenance. I go get my oil change. If I need new tires, I put new tires on them. I don't buy brand new tires. I go to the tire shop that sells used tires that have like 90% tread on them. Why would I go buy $400 or $500 worth of brand new tires on a car that's meant to be rented out? You know, I go everything as cheap but as valuable as possible because I'm pushing the business. You know what I mean? If I'm making 1,000 but spending 1,000 on the maintenance, or you know what I mean, I'm not making anything. My goal is to make 1,000, get my maintenance taken care of the right way for 200, so I can pocket 800. You know, like that's how I would jump off in the game. Does that answer it, Mr. Cade? Is that on?
Yeah.
All right,
that answers it. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. I was just making sure. I don't know if I get off. Sometimes I just start throwing them. I start throwing the game out there, bro. I make sure everybody catches everything.
Gotcha. And I have one more question. So I didn't, I'm about to start putting cars on. I don't know if Turo lets you do salvage vehicles or not.
I don't think they let you do salvage titles, bro. I honestly don't. But that would be your rent to own or your private rental play. A couple of vehicles that were salvaged that we use, it just be private rental and rent to own. And I'm marketing it too. Like I'm telling people about I make a Facebook post and everybody like, oh, soon as you put rent to own, no credit check, down payment.
Yeah.
When the minute you put no credit check, people are 100% about to inbox you like, oh, I need a car. What are they doing? Like you literally can put it like that. Driver's license required, proof of income required, no credit check. You know what I mean? You got them right there. Because we're not caring. We're running rent to own. We don't care about we're not actually caring about their credit. And they're going to be like, dang, I can rent to own this car. I've always wanted this car. I make money. Let me get it, you know?
Right. Got you. Yeah, that's all I got. I appreciate it, though.
Yes, sir. Anybody else?
Did you mention when you said rent to own for those guys, did you mention that you wanted to see proof of income from them, or you really don't go that far?
We're not.
And I'm saying like a W-2, like a SN social security number, but maybe you need to.
No, like
let me see your credit.
Right. Let me get your credit score. Oh, matter of fact, I can help with that.
No, I don't want that.
I don't know why. I mean, and that's
I know a guy named Trevor.
Sometimes I'm like literally, you're gonna give me 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. You're gonna give me so much money. You could just literally let me repair your credit, get you some funding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know. But that's not.
That's what I was curious to know is how many people have actually got the car. Have you had anybody actually
like bought one out?
Okay. Yeah, like actually get paid it all the way through, because it would take about
I mean, they would just pick up my loan, you know, they're not going to get double pay. I'm pocketing the profits because I'm a business, but like if my loan's 5 years, I mean, they're going to be but the play is that ain't even the play. They're not caring about that. They're literally they're going to get another car. That's why I've structured it and I kind of sell it that way. I even say like, man, I got this. Hey, your year's coming up. You know what I mean? But at the same time, they're like, they're chilling. At the same time, they're like, bro, like they might be tired of it after a year. Like, man, I want to try something else. You know, I let them choose because I don't really know what people got going on, you know. But as far as to answer your question about the proof of income, that's for like when I do a Facebook post, because everybody on Facebook is gonna hit you, all your friends and stuff. So when I'm doing marketing like that, running ads, Facebook, that's when I'll put proof of income, because I know I got friends who don't have no damn job. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I need to put that because you're not gonna hit me up. You're my friend, and I'm gonna have to tell you no. Like, so I put it there for that. Like, it can cut them out the way. Go ahead, Miss Michelle.
Oh, my bad. My baby girl crawled under my seat. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Oh, sorry. Got a little 10-month-old to add to the picture. Um, but my question was for me, I feel like I don't want to say the only thing stopped me outside of the market. The one thing that's in my control that I guess I have on my concern list is that I'm coming from the military background where I don't even have like what a Twitter, a Instagram, social media. Like I don't have any social medias. If you believe, I have one Facebook group for my daughter's dance group, and that's my only social media. Now I'm getting out, and I plan on starting it. And so I guess I just want to see from marketing and advertising kind of point of view, like what would you recommend for like me, I guess, just getting started? Because my game plan, I told we talked about this was I plan on getting my turbo fleet going and get the funding and stuff after I've already started looking at vehicles that I'm hoping to secure within the next week or so.
Right.
But just getting it out there outside of the Turo platform, I'm definitely going to use that, obviously. But in addition to that, just trying to let people know, you're well known, follow, you're solidified. But for someone who's completely new to the social media world, do you have like any suggestions or insight, maybe?
Yeah, if I told you this, you probably, I mean, maybe you will, maybe you won't, but I've the last 6 years before, I've only been on social media for 1 year. I came back to social, I've only been on there since December of last year. I have not, for 5 years before that, I was on zero social media. So I like built it from scratch, game over, zero, didn't, you know what I mean? I knew how to do it, but I just was away from it for so long because I just felt like it was so toxic, So I was like, I just didn't want to be on social media, you know what I mean? So I took like a 5 year
Okay.
from like 18. When did I get off? Maybe 18, 17? I got off in like 18 and didn't come back until last year, built this business and have been doing it. So don't don't let your limited beliefs think that you're not going to be able to get on in people's eyes, right? Like the minute you come back,
Okay.
you're out. The algorithm is going to throw Michelle Johnson in your childhood friends, your high school friends, you're going to get thrown in front of people's faces, right? So you're going to naturally link up with people as you come back to social media making posts. But as far as like running the business portion, that's why we have my partner Tyler Lee Lou. He runs the marketing and ads for this business and multiple other businesses. He'll be able to give you
Okay.
insight on those type of things. He has his live calls as well. He is on here, but whenever you get funding and stuff, that's why we're trying to keep everything in-house, like an in-house shop. Like if you need ads and you need your social media page built and business stuff built like that, like we have a source for that, so we're going to be able to make sure that you're solid, but it just comes with post consistently, make one. You don't have to have one. Like when you're on Turo, it's like I said, it's going to market it for you. So you're going to be able to do that anyway. But like for branching off into private rent to own, you're going to definitely have to put it out to be. Turo don't like when they want you to be on their platform. So you kind of got to do that part on your own,
Okay.
But yeah,
I appreciate that.
100% will help with it. And all you got to do is ask maybe on his live call when he has, I think his calls next week or maybe the week after. I mean, just ask him, and he's cold when it comes to them ads and like getting people traffic to your page and things like that. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, okay, for sure. Well, I'll be on his call next week as well then.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let me check the chat. I think I have some questions. They're great. How to figure out? I agree. Great question. I thought I was the only one. No. Yeah, you're good. Everybody's gonna be good when it comes to that. We got the resources for us in house, so we're gonna win. Any more questions? I got about a minute. We can spit one more good one, or we can, if y'all feel like you got it, you'll have like I said, these contracts will be uploaded to the Turo course. There'll be a post on it, but it'll be within the Skool community in the classroom under the course. You'll see it'll say rent to own contracts or whatever. So you'll be able to go grab them from there, copy them and paste them. And man, I hope everybody obviously gathered all the information they needed from this call. And hopefully you can make a lot more money off the platform as well. Like I said, we're out here to try to get a lot of money. It doesn't just have to be through Turo. It needs to be through other avenues as well. I mean, let's build a whole, I mean, if you even have your own rental car business, you know what I mean? You might separate and not need the platform like myself. I don't even use the platform. I rarely use the platform. I just do everything that way. It's better, you know. The platform is my secondary now. So yeah, I appreciate all of you. Thank you for showing up. You will be able to catch this recording in the recording section of the classroom. You'll be able to catch everything that we covered in the classroom. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you have any questions about anything, don't forget to hit the Discord channel and we will get them answered. And I hope all of you have a wonderful evening. Stay in touch and let's win. Let's win all year. I appreciate you guys. Peace.